The Christmas slime is back, and this time it's personal.
Christmas Slime 2, Revenge of the Jingle Bells. Yeah, there we go, nailed it.
Azuma and I have already gone out and built a copper farm out there, but you wanted to build an Enderman farm.
You should have not made that farm with Azuma because he's gonna kill your server.
Yeah, yeah, I gathered that.
No, that was a bad mistake, man, bad mistake. I'm just kidding.
I have been very sure to AFK that when there's nobody else online, and if I see anybody else come online, I'm like, no, I've been babysitting the thing instead of fully AFKing it, because I've heard rumors. But anyway,
all right, what's the plan, man?
So the plan is, because it's possible to trick an end gateway into spawning in a custom location in the void. It will still spawn along the same line that it draws out to those outer end islands, but we can get it to spawn in the middle of the void instead of on the edge of an island out there. And we're going to build our Enderman farm there. I've got a tool that a member of my audience sent to me that's a really, really useful way of plotting the way those gateways generate. All we have to do is kill the dragon, take a note of which gateway it is, and then not go through it right away.
Can we just take a minute to thank all the community members out there that make these ridiculously incredibly complicated tools?
The amount of maths involved in this, I can't even process that kind of stuff, but I can look at it and go, yep, that's where the gateway will spawn, and that's the important part for me. Our first task is going to be to go through to the end and kill the dragon a couple of times, but I had a detour planned, if you don't mind.
Okay.
There's another horse over there, so do you want to go tame that one? I'll tame this one. I've got saddles for both of us.
So as long as it's ever there we go.
Hey, there we go. Hey, you got an achievement for that as well.
Take one of those saddles you get.
Nice. Yes, here you go. And this is where the magic happens, folks. Abracadabra, lore. There we go.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
And lore, there it is. Okay.
That's the best thing ever.
So now we got to ride these through Jimmy's portal and hope they don't suffocate on the other side. Oh, we're in. We're in.
Are we just going to ride these guys through, or are we going to saddle them up, or let's leave them here?
I think we just got to, drop them in, basically, because we can't walk in riding them, but it works like nether portals. I think you can just drag him over.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's through. Have you ever done the dragon fight on horseback?
Nope, I have not.
Do you want to?
Okay, the portal is, I think it's north. Because I saw the light.
Oh, dude, that's dead north. That's super easy.
I've got like 10 Endermen on me real fast. I gotta land over here.
No worries.
Good luck, Dodo number 1. Godspeed.
Yeah, there we go. It's probably going to end up at spawn and confuse anybody who's there. We need to take one of the neighboring end gateways so we get out to the end islands, and we're going to try and find that 0x coordinate. Okay, we are in luck, because I think these 2 islands right here are what we need. If you turn on your chunk borders, you can see where the line is here. This is basically... This stuff is what we need to carve out. I think for the sake of safety, I'm actually going to take out the rest of this island just to make sure it works okay. Okay, this is always the nerve-wracking part. Here goes.
I'm watching you.
No, I didn't break it. I chickened out too soon, dude. I chickened out too soon. Here we go. And now it's broken. Okay, and now I'm flying. Right, so we are just over into basically the last chunk that one of these portals can generate, and then we put 1 end stone on each of those. And basically the portal is going to choose one of those 4 locations to spawn above, and then we can get rid of all of the leaves, we can drop a bucket of water and a bucket of lava to like pillar down or whatever, and we have the setup for our Enderman farm.
I'm gonna fly back and go through.
Okay, looking forward to seeing this.
I am nervous, but also excited. I can't wait to see the replay footage. It's gonna be amazing.
I'm honestly quite nervous too, and yeah, I realized that my replay mod has been recording this entire time, so I have a very long file, but we are looking at, hopefully, where one of these gateways is going to appear.
I am about to try to fly through right now.
Good luck. Yes! It works!
Oh, did it? Oh, I'm stuck. Okay. Oh my god, that is amazing.
Look at that!
That is the coolest thing that I have ever seen.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
I've only done this
High five.
High five. Yeah.
High five.
I've only done this in single player worlds before. It is so cool watching that happen instead of like
I can't wait to see that. Oh my god, that's amazing. That was so easy too.
And that is how you trick Minecraft into spawning an end gateway with nothing around it.
Oh man, that's awesome. I can't believe that worked. That's so wild.
It's
like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
One of the more impressive tricks I know.
Perfect, right there. Whoa.
Whoa.
We gotta make the pathway wider so I don't get knocked off again.
Yeah, I think I nudged you a little bit there.
A little bit, but it's all good. I would say that we probably need a platform at the end of this. So let's say a square 9x9. We need to make just a simple open and close trap, pretty much. Something like that right there. So you would just need to make it to where flip a lever, the stone will open and close, and then just cover it up with carpets. So now I'm going to pillar up 39 blocks because Endermen will take 40 a fall, and we have good swords. This is by far the hardest part of the farm. We're pretty much done. Cool. All we gotta do is get an Endermite into a minecart. Oh, we will need a name tag.
I feel like my New Year's resolution any year should just be like, get good with ender pearls. Like etho good, you know?
Oh man, like, I'm literally so bad at ender pearls.
Yeah, same. And like there's a couple of neat ways you can practice, like, you know, snowballs have the same trajectory, so you can kind of like you can practice without wasting the ender pearls or like losing health all the time, but like just knowing when an ender pearl is a safe bet and when it's a good idea to use them and stuff, like I just need to learn that.
I don't even remember to like bring them with me half of the time.
Exactly.
So it's like I'll get working on this.
It's a straight shot to our end gateway from up here, I just realized.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So be right back.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh my goodness.
Straight through.
I'm gonna throw the pearls and try to get the mite to spawn. And then once it spawns, you name that sucker.
All right.
So right now I have 20 ender pearls. This is going well. Oh my god.
I'm like, that totem's actually gonna get some use out of this in a second.
I'm saying. Oh god. It always happens this way. When the cameras are rolling, you need like 40 ender pearls.
No pressure.
Gonna have to gonna go get more pearls in a minute. Oh my god, this is so bad. Well, there's 20 pearls. I'll be back.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh my god, nothing. Is the server unpeaceful? No.
Can you imagine? You just come back from killing
so bad.
Come back from killing all of those Endermen and you're like, wait a second.
Oh, Sag. I'll be back.
I feel like we should both start doing this. I'm gonna chip in at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Are you going for the pearls?
I am trying.
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Apparently I am, jeez.
Okay. Did you get it?
Nope.
Oh, all right, I've got 5 pearls. Oh, you ran out?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
I'm beginning to think that we have Endermite spawning switched off somehow.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm looking through the mod list. Like, hello?
Come on, 2 left. No. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
All right, I'll fly back. I'll get us a ton more.
I think everything besides the mite is done now. We'll need to remove the leaf platform, but...
Oh, Jesus.
First try.
Instantly.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable.
Did you name it?
I named it, yeah. I got 3.5 stacks of ender pearls, and it was the first one I threw that time.
Anyways, now we just need to put bars around him and one on top, and we should be good to go. How's it working?
It's looking good.
Awesome. All the XP, and they're replenishing really fast, too.
Dude, so many pearls now. Why did I ever farm this any other way?
Oh my god. Oh, that's perfect.
That rules, dude. That rules. Job done.
Awesome. Okay, I can't hit them. I got fire. We gotta remember.
Yeah.
Best part about it is whenever we need to clear it, we can just do that. People can throw the pearls right back into it. So the impressive thing about today was that gateway. That trumps anything I've ever done. So,
well, I'm glad to have introduced you to something new. A week later, and we're still no closer to discovering the identity of who stole the Deep Slate Emerald ore. And yes, I know there are some amateur sleuths out there who have suggestions about who it might be, but who has it now? Whose hands are currently wrapped around my Deep Slate Emerald ore? And if it is ultimately returned to the museum, what's to stop them walking in here and stealing this stuff again? Well, I have a notion about that, because recently Joe Hill stopped by on a live stream and he handed me a cover letter and a resume saying he was looking for work. Now, I was kind of surprised that he'd left the Hermitopia community behind, but it seemed like he was quite interested in getting some work in some of the other empires. And so I was reading through his resume and his cover letter, and a couple of things really stuck out to me. Now, he explained that the cover letter was written in the style of J.R.R. Tolkien's Errantry poem, which also ends up as the Arendelle the Mariner poem in The Fellowship of the Ring. And I kind of like reading stuff aloud. I recently reread Lord of the Rings out loud to my partner, and I kind of enjoy reading this stuff. So to really do it justice, I'm going to attempt to read this poem here for you now on camera. Pixlriffs was an archivist who aged copper in catacombs. He found machines of pistons pushed, which slime blocks mushed beneath the bones. An automatic copper field with copper flown into its place. Then shovels fall as time goes on, each block withdrawn with perfect grace. As curator of artifacts he placed in glass, he's recognized, but Deep Slate Emerald he now lacks, a display that's been compromised. With challenges and many tasks, a wise man asks for help at times, so he can seek for what was lost, with small tasks tossed to guys who rhyme. Should Pixlriffs require help, he should then read the resume, beyond this cover letter which the author hopes will make his day. And you know what? That has made my day. Joe really struck a chord there, and not just because he mentioned the fact that my Deep Slate Emerald had been stolen. The whole concept of the capital here is infused with poetry of a sort, and maybe Joe will have some ideas for what I can do to make sure some of this stuff doesn't go astray again. But last I heard, Joe was herding cats, and not in the way of, like, he has a ton of responsibilities. He was literally herding cats up on the Great Bridge, so I think we need to go and see what all this is about. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Pixlriffs. I was just feeding some kittens. Did you know if you feed kittens with dyed collars, the babies have dyed collars?
That is actually kind of fascinating. I never realized that collars could be genetic, but that does seem to be the case.
Genetic collars are actually a big thing for the police department in the film Gattaca. They're always trying to collar genetic criminals. But anyway, what are you up to?
That's actually a reference that I get. So I was looking for you, and I was told to follow the sound of meowing to address the elephant in the room, or the equivalent biomass, I suppose. Why, Joe? Why all the cats?
I just kind of started feeding them because they were hungry all the time. And then they kept bringing friends, apparently. And things have gotten a little bit out of hand. I don't really have a plan for these. It did occur to me that it'd be funny to teleport a bunch of them inside of Creeper Farm in such a way that the creepers run up the water streams away from the cats, maybe?
Oh, my word.
I don't know. I'm still workshopping it.
That's
but
kind of hilarious, though. I pretty much approve. So, what I actually wanted to look for you for is that you've brought your resume and a cover letter to me, and I've had a chance to read them now, and I may actually have a job opening you'd be interested in.
Ooh, I'd love to hear it.
All right,
what do you need?
Step into my office, and by that I mean the doors over there, because I need to take you to the museum. In the resume, obviously, professional adventurer, you're a jack of all trades at that point. Like, you've got a variety of adventuring skills under your belt. Obviously, your Hermitcraft experience, you're used to, various rascals and heists and, like, all kinds of stuff. And then the pinball player qualification actually kind of caught my eye, because that means you at least have experiences with things that should stay behind glass cases.
If you take the glass off a pinball machine and you fire the flippers, it actually is about as loud as firing a shotgun.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. If you're doing tests on a pinball machine, which I've had to do some, you have to wear hearing protection.
Gosh, well, hopefully we shouldn't have anything that will cause hearing damage in the museum, but yeah, come over to the museum and we'll talk more there. So this is my museum, or rather the Museum of the Ancient Capital that I'm currently using to store relics from the server. And something in your cover letter, obviously you were at least aware of the museum, caught my eye. Deep slate emerald and my lack of it.
Yeah, I noticed an empty case in there. That didn't look good.
Yeah, so I was recently the victim of a theft, and the deep slate emerald and a few of the artifacts from my ancient city exhibit have been taken. I've now replaced a couple of those with some more valuable things, like we've got a bona fide recovery compass in there, and Music Disc 5, which is the one you have to gather all of the fragments of, so really happy to have restored that and have that on my own resume. But the Deep Slate Emerald is still missing. That's still under investigation. What I was hoping for in the meantime, though, was some measure of security around here. So I was wondering if you would be interested in working as a contractor, either on like security patrols, but that might take up a lot of your time. So I wonder if maybe a security system of some kind might be something that appeals to you.
Sure, yeah, I could definitely do some patrolling as well as some physical improvements. Like, I don't know how much work you want done on the space. Like, you don't have a front door here.
Yeah, that is a deficiency of a lot of my builds around here, actually. So if you felt like, a door being the first line of defense made sense, then I do think a door here would be wise, yeah.
And one thing I noticed, too, you have a lot of room up there in the rafters. A lot of these museum heists, people come in through the ceiling. Like, what are we looking at up here? Wow.
The attic space is pretty substantial, and I sort of planned on using this as storage for any other relics and stuff that I would acquire, and honestly the collection has been fairly slim up to this point.
Because it seems like there's a few opportunities for people to come in. They can come in through the roof and then get past anything you do to the doors. The doors themselves just completely open here. In terms of mobs and whatnot, is this general area lit? Just like things come down the hill at night?
I just heard a zombie groan as if on cue. Typically, it tends to get a little bit active around here. There's a froglight tree over there which provides some natural light to the surroundings, and I'm going to try and put a few more of those around here, almost as though they're lampposts. But I need to cultivate some more of those. So lighting is a problem right now, but something I wanted to work into the landscape rather than just spamming torches everywhere.
Okay, yeah, I can walk through this a little bit and do some analysis. In the short term, just to keep creepers from wandering in while myself or others are working, do you mind if I put a few cats out front here?
I mean, a few. As long as it's a few, I think it'll be fine. But, I think if the museum ends up absolutely full of cats, then we might have a problem with visitors not wanting to, disturb them.
In terms of the museum's branding and colors, for the collars on the cats, is there a particular color that you would want to indicate that these are staff?
I think the closest you can get to the prismarine and oxidized copper roof color, I think that's probably about as branding heavy as the museum gets.
Understood. Yeah, I think I can make that work. Okay, you giving me a lot to think about here, Pix.
Yeah.
I'll try and turn this around in about a week.
Nice. You seem like a thinker, Joe, so I think you're up to the challenge.
Thank you so much. This is good work, and I'll figure out how to do it well.
Good. And in the meantime, I hope you find a place for, the 100 or so other cats.
For all I know, maybe every build on this server needs cats in front of their doors. That could be a whole separate business.
Yeah, I mean, a cat-based security firm does sound like something a Minecraft server needs, so I'll let you get right to it.
Maybe Catch All Security?
Ah, there you go. It's got a catchy name already. I like it.
You're setting off fireworks in my brain. Thank you, Pix.
So the first thing I've done is make the farm a bunch prettier. I really wanted there to be a more organic and natural vibe around here, but it's kind of difficult to merge that with Enderman proofing on a large scale, so I went in the opposite direction and ended up with this gradient of slabs that I've used in the past for a skyblock magma cube farm. Obviously in the nether there you have a void, here you have a void, it kind of made sense. Plus, there's a fair amount of purple in the nether brick and the crimson wood that I thought merged quite well with the colors of the void. And we really need to add a couple of extra touches to this farm to make it perfect. The first one being, on the side, I want to create some kind of mechanism by which people can throw their ender pearls into the void. So I decided we need a dispenser in the floor here with an observer clock running next to it. And we can actually control that using the same lever we use to shut off this mechanism. So I feel like there's a couple of opportunities there. But of course, we needed to make sure that we could place a dispenser on this bottom block here for that to really work out, and of course it's a little difficult to place stuff once you've placed a platform on one of the lowest blocks in the world. Difficult, but not impossible. We've got another trapdoor here. We can break out this block like so, and that's just going to hover there for a second whilst I place a trapdoor here, slide all over into that space, and then open the trapdoor on myself. I can then place a block above my head by looking up at the corner of this block like so, and then trying to finagle where the angle is. There we go. That dispenser should now be facing downwards. We're going to lose that trapdoor in the process. Don't really feel like getting that one back. And then we can cover these two up with carpet. I want this one actually to be a hopper so that you can throw ender pearls in, and I've neglected to bring any hoppers in my redstone shulker box, so that's a really good start. Luckily I have some iron blocks in here and I've got some wood with me, so it's not the end of the world. So there we go, a hopper into the side of that dropper there, and we're going to cover that with red carpet just to indicate that you probably shouldn't throw items there. Now in order to power this, we're actually going to set up an observer clock in this space right here. So this observer needs to be facing downwards and another observer needs to be facing upwards into that. So we're going to do the trapdoor trick once again. That is now ticking the dispenser, and then when we activate this lever, it will switch that off. Now, I've had to set up a couple of carpets here to make sure that Enderman won't spawn in these spaces, and this sign here is supposed to hold up the carpet there. You could do that with string as well, but it's not possible to carpet this observer all of the time, and there's a possibility that the Enderman might teleport to that or spawn on it, so had to Enderman proof it somehow. And I figure this setting kind of indicates that you're meant to use the farm. The clock here is switched off, but then when you want to trash absolutely everything, including any ender pearls you've picked up, you just throw them onto this square of red carpet over here. You have a second or two to think about what you've done and maybe open up this carpet to retrieve stuff from the dropper if you don't want it hurled into the void, but then once you switch off the farm, you're trashing both the enderman and the ender pearls as they're dispensed into the void. And then I guess once the dispenser starts failing, if the noise annoys you, you can probably just switch that lever again and leave the farm ready for the next person to use. People are going to bring shulker boxes if they want ender pearls, and I think it's much cleaner than having chests of ender pearls just stacked up around here that nobody will end up using. If it really bugs anybody, we could separate this mechanism from the mechanism that opens the floor of the farm up. I just think it's kind of neat that both combine. And wow, you can actually see the endermen starting to take void damage as they fall into the void. That's kind of unsettling, actually. Anyway, the way I've envisioned us coming through this portal is actually on a minecart. So we're going to set up a whole system that allows us to travel through that portal using a minecart instead of having to ender pearl through it or crawl through it. And the minecart will actually pick you up on the other side. But we need to make sure there's a way to get up and down here, so I'm electing to use water columns. Okay, so we're about level with where we expect it to be. I might even set up glass fronts to these so that you can see the farm as you come down, because I imagine leaving this without a wall in front of the Enderman farm is going to get some people looking at Enderman by accident. And the idea is that you're going to come down off a powered rail through this gateway, and then you're going to turn right into an activator rail that's going to kick you out of the minecart, because when you travel through an end gateway on a minecart, some weird glitchy stuff happens, at least to a lot of flickering images that I'm not too keen on having as part of the experience. In the meantime, we want to put a bucket of water up here, held up by a sign so that people can safely fall through that. And so the rails here are going to pick up the minecart as it comes through. It's going to turn right here and end up on an activator rail. You can power both of those with a single lever. The activator rail will kick you out of the minecart and probably put you on one of these blocks around here. Then we're actually going to swap this block out for a dispenser. We're going to have a powered rail on top of that, actually facing that way. There we go. And that's going to be full of minecarts, which can transport you back to the central hub, and they'll get collected every time they come through here. Because this activator rail is going to run straight into a cactus, which is going to break the minecarts. There'll be a hopper underneath that activator rail, and the hopper will transfer the minecarts back into this dispenser. But now this lever is kind of activating that hopper by being on this block. So we actually want to move that so that it's on top of here. Yes, that should be perfect. Now comes the fun part. Let's load this thing up with minecarts and see how horrific it looks going through to the other side. We need a solid block here. We need a button on top of that. We'll probably carpet off all of this to make it a little more secure later, but I should just be able to hop into this, immediately get transported through, and yeah, yikes, that's not looking great, is it? At this point, there's very little I can do about this except relog, and hope I'm not falling into the void when I return, but I should be, yep, sat in a minecart on one side of the little end stone surround that I've made for this portal. Sketchy as all heck, but you know what? I think we're going to make it work. Because once we fall out of the portal here, we're going to have a rail picking us up on this side. There's also going to be a rail that leads directly up to the portal so that you can get in there in the first place. And what I'm hoping for is that a detector rail can activate these two activator rails so that when this minecart turns the corner, it shakes the player out. You end up standing on this platform and you can make your way back to the return portal to the overworld. But then the activator rail won't be powered for your first trip through here, meaning that you won't end up chucked out of the cart on your way to the portal from the staircase over there. I actually want to run a rail line underneath the island and pop out here so that you can go from the entry platform all the way to this gateway via minecart. And when you're kicked out of the minecart here, the minecart itself is going to continue traveling on down the track and be recycled into the system. That's the plan, at least. First, we got to make sure that the rail itself works, so here we go. And that hasn't broken on the cactus. Okay, maybe it needs more momentum coming around the corner, or maybe it's getting stuck on that stone block. In that case, I think a redstone torch is going to work better here. That shouldn't power the hopper underneath it. Let me just check that that works by throwing some stone in. Yeah, perfect. So scared about losing my shulker boxes into the void at this point. But now the return journey. When I come on through here, yep, we get thrown off pretty quickly. And right now, the rail just ended up circulating the minecart back through. And since it didn't have a passenger, it ends up over there. Okay, time to build the rest of this rail system, I think. Okay, the end platform now has a little rail system set up right next to it. We'll put a sign here, obviously, saying this way to the Enderman farm. All we gotta do is hit that button, mount up on the minecart, and I need to make a couple of adjustments to the rails here because a minecart without a passenger loses momentum faster than one that has a passenger, so we probably need to make sure that it's got enough speed to go this entire trip. But as we reach this slope here, we end up coming out towards the end gateway, and we end up going on through. It's a little glitchy, and oh, that's not great. So we ended up at our destination, but it seems like it's tried to put me on this block because the block is at the same height as the portal blocks around it, maybe? I don't know. Either way, the only adjustment we should need to make there is, oh no, because then the minecart won't go that way. In theory, we can do that, but we just need to hold the forward button. Yeah, there we go. And, well, now that's heading back down that way. And, yeah, as I expected, the minecart has kind of slowed to a crawl in the tunnel right here. So we need to make sure that we at least have a couple of powered rails on either side so that it maintains its speed. Hopefully that should be enough. Now, let's see what happens when we fling ourselves back through the portal in the opposite direction. Okay, that time it worked. So it really is just this block needs to not be there, which it really does need to be to make the minecart transition smooth. So I think we might need to move this entire thing down one block. Alternatively, we might be able to make this an invalid block to teleport to. I wonder if putting a carpet over the top of it like that would work. Let's try that transition one more time. Yep, we get ejected. Okay, the minecart heads back down that way. Seems to keep its speed into the turn. It's running low on momentum at that point, but it goes, and it stalls in the neighboring tunnel because I didn't put enough powered rails around here. Okay, cool. We'll just put as much powered rail as we can afford to down here. And just for the sake of demonstration, we'll give this minecart a shove. That should end up, yep, getting eaten up by that system there, and we should have a couple of minecarts waiting for us in the dispenser. Very good. So now, when we activate this, let's head on back down. And if we get some glitchy visuals, we will know for certain that we need to move this entire thing down a block, but otherwise... yeah, looks like we are. I was even on top of the carpet that time. Well, that is bizarre. But yes, I guess we're moving this whole thing down a block. Okay, this time the minecart seems to be making its way back to the collection point successfully. And now when we zip on through... Okay, that time I think we've nailed it. That time, I think we have nailed it. And now I need to finally get this water column done. Okay, the rail station still feels a little bit bare bones. I'm going to try and tinker with this a little bit between episodes to see if I can't get it looking a little bit more user-friendly. Maybe put up some signs at least so people know what they're doing here. But once you're on this platform, you can just drop down here into this water drop. Put a torch there just to make sure the Endermen don't spawn, but I might put a carpet there or something instead. You can use the farm to your heart's content, and once you're done there, you can use the bubble column to make your way back up. Then it's just a matter of using this minecart station, having a little bit of glitchiness. Oh, still don't really like that very much, but that's, you know, what can you do? And eventually the minecart returns, albeit rather slowly, to this station here. And that's just minecart speed. There's nothing really that I can do about that. More powered rail wouldn't fix the issue, but at least I can put up a sign that says this way to the Enderman farm, and I'm pretty sure people will get the idea from there. Folks, it's been one heck of an episode, but I think we're probably going to call it there, so thank you. Whoa. And I just realized I recorded the last segments of this video in my casual clothes. So let's get back into my Empire's clothes to really wrap things up here. Folks, thank you so much for watching this episode of Empire's SMP. My name has been Pixlriffs. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you folks soon. Take care. Bye for now.